to Moment of Truth. My name is Nadia Shah, my co-host.
I'm David Ipodi.
And we are on our topic of resolution, and we have the honor of introducing you our wonderful guest, Kwame Mafo. And Kwame Mafo will give him the opportunity to introduce himself to our viewers. So please.
Hey, my name is Kwame Mafo. I'm a proud Adonai Assembly member, and I'm a Captain State University student. I'm in my senior year, and yeah, I'm 25 by God's grace.
Yeah. Congrats. A quarter of a century old. Well, welcome so much to Moment of Truth. It's definitely an honor and privilege to be talking about resolution. So if you haven't watched and you are watching for the first time, we have been talking about resolution. And you're thinking, wait a minute, it is September. Why would you be talking about resolution? You're talking about resolution to help you to figure out where you are. So if it's September, you haven't done anything in your resolution, this is a wake-up call. And if you have been working on it, we want to encourage you to do a great job, and so that when the year comes to an end, you know where you are. So this is us talking about our resolution. And we're talking about the resolution that makes a difference. Because sometimes our resolution does not make a difference because we don't follow through. So we want to make sure that your resolution makes a difference.
Right. Thank you so much for joining us today. Before we go on to resolutions, can you tell us a little bit about school? How is school going? How did you get it up, and what's going on over there?
Okay, so first of all, I'm a senior at Captain State University, and thank you very much. And my major is social work. And social work. And in the beginning, it was difficult to come up with my major because I didn't really know what to do. So I was kind of like the normal students would do, trying to figure out what major or what field to get into. And by God's grace, I was able to come up. I went to a field. I was working at a field as a student assistant, or you could say a paraeducator. And we were working with special need kids and, behavior problem kids. And with that one, I was able to come up with what I'm really good at, which is something in the field of social work.
Awesome.
That's why I majored in that, basically. So that's what I'm in now.
Thank you for taking the mantle.
Yeah, that's a very challenging area. I have to ask this question. For an African man to really go into social work, it takes the grace of God.
It does.
So what do you think was a calling, or do you think it was just God that just put you in that direction?
I think, I don't want to talk about marriage. I mean, before I got into the whole finding out what my major was or what I was good at, I had to set up my life and spending time with God and, trying to build a relationship with Him. And through that building of relationship, that's how I was able to, He opened those doors for me to be able to find out, okay, this is the field I'm good at. But it's not easy because when you have an African man raised in Ghana, per se, with the strict mentality, it's very difficult to be able to work with kids, especially who they have been trained with the lenient kind of training. So it's difficult, but I believe God has given me a gift of patience, which helps me to be able to not be too strict with them or too angry or lose my cool with them, basically. Yeah.
And anything you do that you feel fulfilled and you don't feel like overwhelmed, that's your field.
Right.
Once you're doing it and you don't feel overwhelmed, it is your field.
It is your field. Right.
Yes,
right.
Thank God for your calling, because we need teachers that are definitely there to encourage our children to be more than the system calls them to.
Yeah.
Right.
Because when the system labeled that child a problem child, that label becomes something that they fight with throughout
their lives.
So we need people who are patient, who say that child is not stubborn. The child just needs you to take your time to explain the things to them again and again until they get it.
Yeah.
Right.
And when they get it, they're a good student.
Right.
So thank you for your patience.
Thank you very much. We thank God.
So talking about your resolutions, what was your New Year resolution, if you had any, and what made you come up with that resolution?
So beginning of this year, this resolution started last year, but I kind of pushed it to this year
Tell us about last year. How come you pushed it to this year? You know, we're very,
yeah,
we like to dig in there.
Yes, moment of truth. Want to know?
I pushed it to this year because I tried it last year and didn't work out because, you know, I was into the world, and it's kind of difficult when to accomplish that when you are in the world. So basically my resolution was to work in the role of God, basically, and to do the things of God and to have a relationship with God. That was the biggest thing I wanted to accomplish. And it was difficult because, you know, we fight in this flesh, and it's very difficult to accomplish something like that. So I tried and I failed, and I told God, you know, I'll do it next year. So when this year came, I was like, I have no option. I already told him I'll do it this year, so I have to fight it through. And in the beginning, again, it was difficult, but, you know, with the help of the Holy Spirit and with the help of, sometimes God brings certain people into your life to help you, to push you. And with one of my big brother, Daniel Victory, he was able to push me, and with Adonai Assembly also helped because they don't sleep on the youth. They help the youth to pour out their gift and all that. So with that, I was able to, you know, find out what God really wants me to do and the gifts that God has given me, basically.
Awesome.
Amen.
Your environment.
Yes, I like that. I think one of the things that you really, it just ran through your conversations is gift.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes when we want to draw close to God, when we don't see the gift that God has for us, it's very hard. So you keep going in and out.
Right.
But when you see your gift that God has given you, it's easier to hold on to. So if your gift is music, then you hold on to the music ministry.
Right,
If it's teaching, then you hold on to the teaching.
Right.
You have to really find your gift.
Definitely.
It makes a huge difference.
Definitely.
I'm glad you found it. And I know
Yes.
we give you all the props.
Yes, good job, good
Yes.
job. Adonai Assembly, you're doing something good. Keep it up.
Amen.
Yes,
Amen.
yes.
Amen.
So, how is it coming along? This New Year resolution, how is it coming along? Can you give us steps that you're taking and how it's working so far?
So far, so good. I had to, you know, make myself a schedule to be able to, because, you know, with that, you need to spend time with God more and have time for Him, because you don't know His will if you don't know Him. So I had to, you know, take away certain things, like the time I spend on social media, the time I'm just, you know, going out, doing other things that are not necessary. I could spend that time in my house or in my room or in my closet praying or reading the Word. So I had to adjust, you know, certain things and certain, basically my time, basically, and what to do. So I had to set myself a schedule. Like, let's say I set an alarm to pray at 12. So when I hear the alarm, I know it's time to pray.
Awesome.
So it's kind of, yeah, it kind of helps
good.
you.
I mean, I do mean 12 in the afternoon or 12 in the midnight?
Not 12 of them, because I'll be sleeping by then.
Okay.
But, you know, I mean, sometimes, okay, I don't want to go into, but yeah, like around 12 in the afternoon, or sometimes around like 3. It's like, I've always said the morning like 8, 3, and in the evening like around 12 is a time that is very important to pray. Yeah, so I usually try and pray around that time. Yeah, so,
Amen.
yeah.
Oh,
Very
that's
necessary.
awesome.
Yeah.
I know somebody who prays during lunchtime. At lunch break, she uses 15 minutes to pray and then the rest of the time for lunch break.
Lunch
So,
break. Yeah.
I think it's important. You know how the Muslims pray so many times during the day. It takes a break in your system to do that. And I think it's good to have that system in place so that way you can get in touch with God.
It's very important, very important. Yeah.
so how's the schedule working? Is it always working?
I'm a type of person, when I set the thing up, I have to do it, and I'll
that's
do it,
awesome.
because if I say I'll try, then I might not do it. But because I said I have to do it, and I've told God I'm going to do it, I have no option but to, because I feel like I'm failing Him if I don't do it, that kind of thing. And it's kind of special because sometimes I don't even need this the alarm, because sometimes you'll be there, and because you've spent so much time with God, you see the Holy Spirit begins to you get that feeling, you have to go back and pray. Like, you have to go back and spend time with me, that kind of thing. And it's so special. Like, I remember my mom always used to say, in our local language, I don't know if I'm allowed to say.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
He says, Nyami Muede. And I never really, I was like, okay, I mean, that time I was in the world, so I didn't get what he was saying. So when I started doing all these things, I began to understand there is sweetness in God.
God.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing. I think it is a maturity in our relationship with God to actually find fulfillment in our walk with God, to really understand that is who he said he is.
Facts, facts, yeah.
We thank God that God has allowed you to get to that point in your life.
Yeah.
Just a quarter of a century old, but God has allowed you to make that impact or see that.
Amen.
That is awesome.
Yeah. And if you're out there and you're wondering, what is this sweetness, fulfillment, excitement that he's talking about, you can reach out to us on Facebook and we'll give you more. We'll tell you more how to get this fulfillment, this joy
Right.
that he's talking about.
Amen.
And if you have any question, you can call 240-200-9717. The number again is 240-200-9717. And of course, we are Momentary Children. We are talking about resolution. So watch and share with other people. You can also ask your questions.
So, have you had to make any adjustments to your resolutions? I know you made an adjustment by pushing it to this year,
Yeah.
but are there any other adjustments you had to make?
One of the biggest adjustments I had to make, I like soccer a lot. And it was very difficult for me to not to, give up soccer and focus on God. Because, I had a dream, God gave me a dream and showed me certain things. I don't want to go into detail. But with that, it was very difficult for me to drift away and just get to that place, that secret place. It was very difficult, but, like I said, I had to fight my way through to do it. And it's, like I said, it was very difficult. Sometimes you be in your house or you be doing something, you watch a game, you're like, you feel the tingles to go play, or you feel the tingles, you miss those times. But there's a reason why God, called me to that place. So I always try to put my mind to that, to, just focus and just do that basically.
I can imagine there's a soccer match going on and then your alarm goes off, so you know you're supposed to go
You're
pray.
supposed to go. That's the most difficult part.
So your resolution is working, but it's challenging.
It's challenging.
Yeah.
It's challenging.
So as it's challenging, as it calls you to reevaluate how important it is in your life, because sometimes when things are challenging, it's human nature we want to give up. As it calls you to reevaluate why you made those decisions, have you changed your mind?
It has caused me to step back from certain things, if I may put it that way, like not partake. Like for instance, for not long ago, I'm a big Burna Boy fan, and he's an artist. And one of my friends invited me. He recently had a concert going on, and one of my friends invited me. And when he invited me, the temptation was hard because I like this guy. I knew his song from A to Z, so it was it was difficult for me to say no. But when you come into Christ, you're a new creation. You can't be in the world and be a Christian as well. You can't be a Christian and be in the world.
Can be 50-50.
Yeah, you have to be.
Gotta be 100%.
Exactly. So I had to say no to it. I had to stay away from certain things from the world, like going out at night and all these unnecessary things. I had to stay away from it and just focus on the prize, which is God, basically. Yeah.
So that makes your resolution. So which has helped you to accomplish your resolution, just making that sacrifice.
Just making that sacrificing my time, sacrificing certain friends that are not necessary, and sacrificing, basically, like I said, the time that you need to make time. Basically, God needs our time for, to spend with Him. That's one thing He cherishes a lot. When we spend that time with Him, is amazing, because I've come to understand that, worship is like, it's like the God's weak spot. It's like, when you worship Him, it's like, regardless of, how do you even say it? There's nothing that He will not deny. Like when you worship Him, you get His attention.
Right.
You understand? Like for instance, when and Silas was in prison, when they worshiped, God Himself came.
Right.
But when Peter was in prison, the elders and the apostles were praying. An angel came. So you could tell the difference. They prayed and an angel came. But when they worshiped, God Himself came. So you could tell that there's something about worship.
The worship belongs to someone, and He comes for it.
He comes for it Himself, So it's something that, is very precious to Him. Very, very precious to Him. Yeah.
This is awesome. Did you have any other resolutions, or this was the only one?
This was one of the resolutions. It was the main resolution.
It's the main one.
There was a minor resolution of going to school and trying to find what major to dive into.
And you found
that,
it.
that through the process, I was able to
find it. So through the major, you found the minor as well.
Fact.
Seek first His kingdom and His righteousness. Everything else will be added to you.
Right.
You definitely were going after God's own heart. And He definitely gave you the desires of the heart.
Definitely.
I appreciate that.
So are there any resolutions that you have pushed to next year, or are you thinking about any resolutions that you want to set for next year?
Next year, I want to read His word more. It's not easy to, because sometimes you be reading and you fall asleep, you know. So I want to be able to study the word of God. You know, you will not know God if you don't know the word, because He's the word. So it's one of my biggest resolutions next year is to study the word and understand what the word is, so you don't easily get deceived by
all the
people,
things going on.
Exactly.
If you're out there and you're struggling through your resolution, it's not a bad thing at all, because nothing good comes easy.
Right.
If you're making the effort and it feels like it's challenging and it's difficult, that shows that you're doing something good. You need to hang in there and let it work. We are now in September, so we're trying to look back to see how are our resolutions working. We don't want to be doing this anymore when 31st night, we sometimes write them down, sometimes we say them. Even the ones we don't write down, we forget. Immediately it's 1st January. But the ones we write down, sometime get into another 31st night, then we realize, oh, I had these resolutions. So as we're talking about resolutions, we're just encouraging you to look back at your own New Year resolutions. If you haven't started at all, and there are so many of them, just pick one that you think from now till December you can start working on. If you're working on them and you're struggling, it's okay. Keep going. So this is just as trying to look back, evaluate, and then go forward.
So as we're talking about resolution, do you think resolution is important? As a child of God, do you think resolutions are?
Oh yes, resolutions are very, very important, because I feel like if in life, if you don't have plans or you don't set a goal, you will not achieve certain things in life. You know, you can't just sit there and say, I'm just going to be doing whatever. You know, you got to set a goal to, I want to accomplish this by the end of the year. Even if you don't accomplish it, at least you set a goal that made you push to do something. You know, so it's always important to have resolution. Very, very important. It's very important.
And I think for me, one of the things that I will also challenge our viewers, if you're watching, we can have personal resolution, health resolution, resolution for our work, but I think it's also important to have resolution for your ministry. Each person should have a ministry in the church. So if your resolution is for your ministry to grow, even if it's Pensa Ministry, because I'm part of Pensa Ministry, Youth and Pensa, be part of that ministry. Make sure that you challenge yourself, so that when next year you will sit back and you say, you know what, I made an effort in my ministry and God has watched it grow. But if you don't have those personal resolutions in your ministry, you feel like you're not part of a church because you're not investing into the church. Please, if you're watching, invest in the ministry. It makes you part of the greater good of the church.
Yeah. If there's somebody out there who has never done a resolution or has done one and is struggling, or is wondering what this whole resolution is about, what advice you want to give to somebody out there who's just wondering, what are they talking about on that set?
I mean, the best thing I could say is, you know, if, like I said, in life you can't just sit there and not do anything. You have to have a goal. You need to have a target that you want to reach. You know, before the year starts, you need to know, okay, at the end of August, I want to achieve this. Or at the end of December, I want to achieve this. You can't just walk in life, because if you be like, the wind will just blow you wherever.
Anyhow,
you know, so you need to know what you want to do. One, you need to set a goal on what you want and just put your mind. It's going to be difficult to do it sometimes. It's going to be difficult. You know, not everybody is the same. Some people might not have the strength to be able to go through it. You know, but always when it's very difficult, always remember yourself the reason why you had that resolution. You know, if it was because you were too heavy, you want to slim up, then you remember yourself, I'm too heavy, okay, I need to slim up. Or because I want to.
That's always number one of people's list.
You know.
Including myself.
Or let's say you want to get this promotion at job, so you need to have this resolution. Then you need to have that in the back of your head whilst you're doing. That will push you to do it. And also don't forget, you have to always add God to it, and it will help you with it, definitely. Yeah.
What resolution will you be excited to complete? Sometimes people say, I'm excited to, like you talk about the weight, say, I'm excited if I lost 10 pounds. Like, that's it. What resolution do you personally think were you excited to complete?
The one I'll be very excited to complete is when, I'm fully certain and I'm walking into the will of God. That would be amazing. Because, one thing I always say is I don't want to get to heaven and God tells me, what did you do with your gift? Is I don't know what to say, and that's bad. So I want to at least walk in my gift, use my gift, then, so when I get there, I have something to say, so that would be one thing I'll be very happy about. And obviously to graduate, yes, that would be big.
That would be big.
Yeah.
For the students
definitely.
out there.
Yeah.
And he keeps mentioning gifts, so I have to ask him, so what do you think your gifts are? I have to ask. I just have to ask.
So I, like thanks to Adonai, we, usually they put me into certain programs like to lead worship and all that. So at first when I was young, I didn't know I could sing until, I mean, worship is not even about singing per se, but it's all about your heart and how you are connecting with God, basically. So maybe I'll say I'm a worshiper. I don't want to be, I'll just say I'm a worshiper.
A psalmist or musician, kind of.
Because I love worship.
Worshiper.
I love to worship
awesome.
God because, because God said David is he's the dearest to his heart because, man after his own because he knew how to worship. When you read Matthew 15, the Canaanite woman, he was crying out to God, 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 Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy. Lord didn't say a word, but as soon as she began to worship, the Lord turned around and said a word. The leper, the same thing. As soon as he worshiped, the Lord made him clean. So there's something about worship. I'm like, I thank God for giving me this gift because I know whoever is a worshiper, I don't want to say they're close to God, but they are.
After God's own heart. After God's own heart.
I'm telling you, because it's weak spot. It's a weak spot.
So that's one of the gifts you are
That's one of the
working
gifts
on.
I'm operating on right now.
Is there any other? It's like you're a man of many gifts.
Yes, many times.
Tell us all the gifts.
The Renaissance man.
That one, I just want God himself to push me. I mean, there are other ones too, but, let me be humble and let God himself, take me where he wants to take me,
Amen.
Yeah.
We really appreciate your humility. So we thank God for that. So at the end of the year, how would you like your life to be transformed? Because sometimes that's what we look at, how our resolution transform our life. Because if you look at your resolution, you don't feel like it has transformed you, then you are not on the upper channel of your resolution. At the end of the year, what would you want people to see? Wow, this resolution has transformed.
First of all, at the end of the year, for myself, I want to feel fulfilled that I've accomplished it. That's one. And for people also, for how would I want to be transformed is basically, for my life, the way I'll be able to tell is when, I hunger for the things of God. That's what I'll know, yes, okay, my life has been transformed. Because when I'm not, for instance, like I said, a friend invited me to a Burna Boy concert, and I didn't have the urge to go, and I decided not to go. That's like a key thing to just let me know, okay, now the Spirit is working.
I don't know who friend of mine is, but if you said the Spirit is working, the Spirit is working.
Yeah, the Spirit is working. So that's kind of like, the kind of transformation that I want to have. Like, at the end of the day.
The things you desire and
exactly.
things you do.
The things I desire are things of God. The things I do are the things of God. Just to make, the Master happy, basically. That's how I want to be transformed, basically.
And since you're a worshiper, you lead us in the worship at the end.
Amen.
Just a short one, so that those out there who have the same gift will know that, it takes them closer to God.
Think about
it. Get ready.
Yes. And I think it definitely makes a difference when you see how God is transforming you. Because this year, the theme for the church is we are agent of transformation.
Right.
So how are you letting your New Year resolution transform you? If it's not transforming you, then something is wrong.
Because you can be helping others get transformed if you are not getting transformed.
You have to be transformed from within to make a difference in the world around you. So Moment of Truth, want you to see your New Year resolution transforming you in order for you to transform others.
Yes.
So how has your resolution affected, apart from you choosing your major, how has it affected your education?
Like I said, I had to make a schedule to be able to balance everything out, basically, because, you know, education is also important.
Right.
So I had to balance the times, because there are some times where, you know, you come home and there's a lot of assignments that you need to do.
Right.
That same time, it might be the time to go spend with God.
Right.
So you have to decide, do you, you know?
You gotta do both. You
You
have
have
to
to
do
do
both.
So, you know, I think God himself knows that, okay, this assignment is due tomorrow. I also want you to spend time with me. So you spend time for like 30 minutes. Then you can come and finish your assignment. And he will give you the strength to finish it, basically. So that's basically how I
Right.
go about it, yeah.
So if you're out there and you're a student and you're using the fact that you're a student as an excuse not to get close to God, not to get involved with the things of God, we can listen to Mr. Mafo about the fact that we need to balance it. You can't be just all school. So for some people, when school resumes, it's all about school.
That's right. That's
No
right.
God, nothing. But we cannot live our lives like that.
That's right.
Because God was before we went to school, and when we graduate, God is
It's
still
still
here.
there. It's
So
still there.
let's learn from Mr. Marfo, and let's know that the fact that we are in school doesn't mean that we are no longer important to God. We cannot just neglect our spiritual life and become lean spiritually just because we are feeding our brain.
Right.
So think about it.
Right.
That is so true.
Yeah.
That is so true.
Definitely.
My husband and I were talking about that too. It's just like you spend a lot of time as a Christian feeling your physical form, but not the spiritual well-being. And then in the end, you wonder why you are so weak spiritually. So be connected to God in spirit and really nourish your spirit by doing the things of God, reading your Bible and praying.
Definitely.
It's definitely key.
Definitely.
So have you seen any change since you, in your ministry or in your gifts? Have you seen any change since you made this resolution and you getting closer to God? Have you seen any change, any impact it's having on your ability to minister to others through your gift?
Yes, definitely. I've realized I'm a very quiet person. And
are you shy as well?
Yeah, I'm a very shy person too.
I was just wondering.
Yeah, I'm a very shy person too.
You know, it's amazing how God uses the shy people to make an impact.
Yeah, I'm a very shy person too. So, you know, when I started walking into this, into my gift that God has given me, you could tell when I'm doing it, there's no shyness. It's more of boldness and confidence. You don't know where it comes from. But you know it's the Spirit that is enabling you to do, the Spirit that is doing it through you. Because, you know, like the apostles, when God told them to wait for the time, the day of Pentecost, you know, if they went out before that, they would not have the boldness and the courage to do it. But when the Spirit came upon them, that's when they had the boldness to go out, and Peter preached, and about 500 or 5,000 or 3,000, you know, gave their life to Christ and were baptized with the Holy Spirit. You know, so basically, yeah. Something.
You've seen
you have
that.
to wait on God for your
You've
gift
seen
to
that.
mature.
Right. Basically.
Well, I'm really glad that you have the opportunity, because most times people hide in the behind the scenes and they never get opportunity, or they never allow God, because the opportunity is there, but you don't allow God to use you, so that we never get to nourish your gift, so that way you don't get to grow in the spirit.
Right.
So I think that what I've learned from you is, in this short time, is for our gifts to be able to impact others, for our gifts, for us to be able to even walk in our gifts. If that gift is actually from God, then we need to get close to God. We need to spend time with God. And that will help our gift to come up, to mature. So if you're out there and you do have a gift, but it looks like you're struggling with it, I think you should think about his resolution. Maybe you should add that to your list.
Yes.
About getting close to God, spending time in prayer and Bible study. And not only doing that, but setting time, setting the schedule so that you are able to actually do it. And I believe you'll see results.
Definitely.
So, you know, people always think about challenges of resolution, and then they never really put steps in place.
Right.
So, you say your resolution is to be close to God. So were there steps that you put in place to say, apart from having your quiet time and praying and setting stuff, time and all those, were there other things that you put in place that makes it visually like, okay, these are step 1, step 2, step 3 to make you accomplish it?
Yeah, basically, like I said, I had to. The one physical thing I had to do was to set the alarms. The alarm was one thing that would just kind of wake you up and be like, okay, this is time. That was on the beginning stage. Like I said, as you keep going, you don't even need an alarm again because the Spirit Himself will notify you.
Before the alarm goes,
before the
your
alarm
own
goes.
internal alarm has gone
Exactly.
off.
Because He likes, the time that you spend with Him, so He can't wait for that time. And, one also thing is I always keep my Bible next to my bed. So when I see it, I know, okay, I have to read my Bible. I know it's kind of odd. It's kind of odd, but for me, it works for me because when I see it, I know, okay, it's time to read. It's time. If I forget, I know, okay, I've not read today, so let me read at least something for a minute or two. So yeah, basically, those are some of the physical things that help me out.
So with the reading the Bible, did you have how did you do it? Was it chronological? Was it according to how the Bible was written, or what exactly? Did you have a plan for it, or do you just open and
anywhere?
and
So
read?
in the beginning, it was like I said. I always say, my brother, thank you, Daniel Victory, who he kind of pushed me to do it because in the beginning it was difficult. So he kind of gave me like verses to read, and the verses that he gives me is kind of like you have to read it. By the end of this week, I'll ask you what it says. So it's kind of like
That's awesome.
it's kind of
to
like
have somebody to keep you accountable like that.
Exactly. So he pushes you to read it. So as I kept doing it, it got to a point where I didn't even need the Bible verse no more. To a point where I like to read the Word. So like I'm studying the Book of Acts now. So like I've already read through it, but I'm reading it again because it's so amazing.
It's amazing. I like the Book of Acts. If you've not read it, go read the Book of Acts.
It's an amazing book. So I've been studying and I'm still reading it now. Just for better clarification and for how the church is supposed to be and the power and all this kind of stuff. So yeah.
If you're a Church of Pentecost person, Book of Acts is our book.
Yeah.
But I like Proverbs, but Book of Acts is our book.
Definitely.
Also, you do it like book by book.
Yeah, book by. So right now I'm on arts. I'm planning on going to romance after I'm done with arts. I like Paul, so I like to know how he was thinking. Like I always pray, like, God, give me the prolific spirit.
I never heard of that.
Prolific spirit.
Because I like his courage, his boldness. He was educated man. He was not afraid.
No, he was not.
He was not afraid. So I like that guy. So I like to know his mind and what he was thinking and how he wrote and what all the things that he said in the Bible. I really want to know.
Scared, and he wrote a lot.
Paul wrote a lot.
And I think that was his impact in the ministry. Was that as a learner, he really used his education to make an impact in the ministry. So every gift that God has given you, use it to make an impact in your ministry. Don't let your education become a barrier in your relationship. We're talking about Paul.
Yes. And we know the family is the building units for the whole community. So is there any way this resolution affected your family life? For the better or for the worse? Or for both? Is there any way it affected your family life?
No, it didn't really affect the family. They were actually happy about it, especially my mom.
Amen.
Okay, so that's a positive effect.
My mom is very, because she's always told me, worship God, forget about the world, all that kind of stuff. So she was very excited when she saw that I'm beginning to walk into, the things of God and doing the things of God. So for her, she was very. So the family, there was no problem. All of them are happy. All of them
are they
excited.
Benefiting in any way?
As in
you now getting closer to God.
Oh yeah.
Apart from making them happy, that's a benefit.
Yeah.
It's making everybody joyful. Yeah. Any other benefits that they're getting?
Oh, I mean, like for instance, let me say, my mom also likes to worship as well. So maybe I would say maybe I got it from there. But like for instance, she's about to go do a worship program somewhere, and she called me and said, "I want you to do it with me."
Oh, that's awesome.
So sweet.
It made me kind of happy and a little, I'm like, oh.
So we're bonding more, huh?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
awesome.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, it's special. And she's giving you advice on, okay, sing this song at this time, do this, all this kind of thing. So it's special. It's special, yeah.
Awesome.
Basically.
For the parents out there, you see, coaching your children is not easy, but at some point, it begins to work out. But if you don't do anything at all,
Yep.
then you're not sowing any seeds. So if you're sowing any seeds, keep on doing it. One of these days, you will reap just like Mr. Marvel's parents are reaping.
Because mentorship starts at home.
Yeah.
You know, the concept of mentoring is starting with your parent mentoring you. You learn stuff from it. Mr. Marvel saying that the mom loved to worship. So just think about it. If you love to do something, you sow into your kid. They will also love to do it. But if you don't love the things of God, it's hard to sow something.
You can give what you don't have.
You can't give what you don't have. So moment of truth, please, please, please. Your New Year resolution, draw closer to God. And your children will draw closer to you as they also draw closer to God.
Yes. And that reminds me of a scripture. Somebody said, imitate me as I imitate Christ.
Yes.
It will be Paul or somebody.
It is Paul.
It's Paul. Oh, I got it.
So imitate, yes. And Paul was definitely about role modeling. You know, if there's anything at all that you will say about Paul, he said, consider everything rubbish for the sheer knowledge of knowing Christ. So just imagine everything that you have to account for it, but what you have to account for is your salvation. So everything is rubbish. Right. So your New Year resolution is to be closer to God, reading your Bible more. God will add more things to it. So if you haven't done that, please put it in.
Yes, because I believe that once you get closer to God, you know all the things we pray about, sometimes you can write them down as resolutions, but it says seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness. So once you're getting close to God, these resolutions that sometimes you don't know what to do to accomplish them, God will lead you to accomplish them. Right. And when we look at you, you were able to know what your measure should be after getting close to God and communicating with Him. Somehow He was able to let you know what your purpose is.
Right.
So I think that the best thing for us to do, first thing to put on our list, is how to get closer to God. Because all the other things will follow. I'm not saying don't put the other things down. You need to put them down too. Right. But I'm thinking the first thing should be. So maybe I'm going to change my resolution next year. I'll make my first thing something different.
But it is important though. I feel confident that when our relationship with God is on a solid foundation, we are able to move with confidence. Right. Whatever we are tackling. But when our relationship with God is shaking, anything that you tackle seems to fall apart. You touch it, it fall apart. You move it, it fall apart. But when you're on solid ground, solid foundation with God, everything else is just so please think about that and just really use your talent in that area too.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So what steps are you taking to accomplish the resolution that's left on your list? You only have like what? 2?
I have 2. Yeah. So basically, I mean, the steps, like I said, the steps I'm taking basically is to taking away the world, you know, putting the world on the side. That's one step. And certain people that are, you know, when God's trying to take you to a place, it's not everybody can come with you.
Of course not.
You know, so some people, I'm praying to God to help me decipher who is to come and who is not to come. You know?
That's hardest part.
That's hard, you know. So we can, you know, let those ones who are not to be with me to, you know, stay on the side so we can just, and also to, you know, like schedule your time and all that kind of stuff so you know that you know what to do at a certain time, basically.
That's good. Yeah. I think for all of us that are watching Moment of Truth, just realize that everything that we put on our schedule does not necessarily mean that it will come to pass. Right. Certain things you put it down to visually see it and say, you know what, this is a challenge. This is a struggle. God give me wisdom. God give me insight to how to tackle it. Because sometimes you put something on your list and you keep looking at it months after months after months, and you still don't have any clue on how to tackle it. And this is where we need a grace. We need God's grace. So if you put anything on your list and you're still struggling with it, start asking for God's grace, and also ask God to put people in your life to help you. That is where mentorship come around. That's where people come around. Sometimes I think our pride prevents us from asking for help. And you could put the same thing on your list years after years, and you never accomplish it because you are not resolved in your heart to trust God to use people to accomplish it. Definitely. Yeah. So, what is it going to be on your list this year? or next year, as the year is coming to an end?
I'm thinking that the first thing will be reading my Bible more, praying more, and then I'll still keep the rest, like trying to make sure I take a nap each day, take it slow, rest, make sure. So physically, I'm going to have a physical goal and a spiritual goal.
Amen.
Just two. I don't want too many.
Yeah, I think two is good.
Yeah.
I think two is good.
How about you?
For me, I think, like you, I would definitely have a spiritual goal of reading my Bible. My goal is to read the Bible in the whole Bible in a year. So that will be my next year resolutions. And the second thing will be to spend more time. You know, sometimes you feel like you are doing it, but I know I could do more. So
Yeah.
I apologize to family. I'm going to
You're going to slow down and
I'm
spend
going to
time
slow
with
down
them.
and do better. So
Yeah.
to that.
Yeah. And remember out there that whatever resolution you set, you will think that you're the only one who's going to benefit, but really it's not so. Once your resolution works out, your family is going to benefit, your church is going to benefit, your education is going to benefit, your profession is going to benefit, everything else is going to benefit. Let's take, for example, Mr. Marfo. His goal this year to get close to God has benefited the church. Now they have one more worship leader who is really getting closer to God and leading people in that direction, right?
Definitely.
Then the family is happier and is bonding more, and everybody is having a happier time. So his personal goal has affected the family. Then his education, he was able to see his way through, know what to do, and what to do with his career. And so in the same way, when you do not make any resolutions, and so therefore you don't achieve something positive, and you end up achieving negative things, it's going to affect everybody else around you. That's why the church is so adamant about you knowing your gift, knowing what to do with your life, having a resolution. That's why we are sitting out here, because whatever you're doing is going to be affecting us too.
Yes.
So we are interested in what you do.
That's true. That is true. I think as this church set out theme every year, I love it. I really love it. But the leaders go and have that mountaintop experience with God, so that when they bring their goal and the resolution to the people, they want the church members to be excited about it. But if you yourself have not made a resolution in your heart, when the church bring the theme, you are like, what is this? You are not super excited. You are not, you're not energized to take over and do exploits with it. So our encouragement to you, as we are talking about resolution, be resolved in your heart to do things for God. So when the leadership bring about the theme for the year, you are excited, you want to learn the new song, you want to know how it impacts your life and how it impacts your ministry. So please, please, please remember that you are part of a growing ministry. In your life, make an impact. People are watching. People are watching you as you make an impact in your life to make a difference. And that is start with your resolution. The resolution makes you resolve to do great things. And if you have no resolution, you have no plans. And if you have no plans, you go back and forth anyway, anyhow.
Exactly.
And the enemy will really be jumping on you to really crush you down and not make you do great things. And that's not what God wants.
Right. And as we're talking about resolution, I know some people have decided that they're not going to do resolutions anymore, and because it hasn't helped them in the past. Okay, that's fine. But then just make up your mind that whatever theme the church brings, you're going to be a part of it, because that is the whole church's resolution. And if you actively involve yourself, for example, you look at how you can be an agent of transformation this year. There's no way the year will end without you not being transformed in a way. So you might not have made a personal resolution, but if you get yourself hooked with at least what the church's resolution is, it will help you, because throughout the year, there are programs set up to help each member achieve that goal. So if you think you are done with resolutions, that's fine. Just tap into what the church has, and you'll be fine.
You'll be fine, because
you'll be more than fine.
You'll be fine, because I'll build my church, and you are the church. So
right.
If the church is being built, and you are being built, and you are being transformed, guess what? You're not going to be the same one that you were 2018 or 2017, because 2019 is coming to an end. We're looking at 2020. I'm excited. I can't wait to see the theme for next year. I'm just really excited. And I can't wait to hear the song and all the programs that the church has for us to grow us and really make us struggles into that.
And what a better way to end this today's resolution with some worship.
Yes.
As we worship together in
Yes.
here, just join us as we lead you
Yes.
into the throne room of God. It's not too late.
No.
It's not too late. It's never too late to start your resolution.
She's a song
Over to
person,
you.
so she was.
I'll support you.
She was supporting me. I would just be humming in the back.
Okay.
So join us for some worship.
All right. Shall we close our eyes?
Sure.
And I sing praises to your name. Oh Lord, praises to your name. Oh Lord, for your name is great and greatly to be praised. And I sing praises to your name. Oh Lord, praises to your name. Oh Lord, for your name is great and greatly to be praised. And I will enter his gates with thanksgiving in my heart. And I will enter his courts with praise. And I will sing, this is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice, for he has made me glad. And I will enter his gates with thanksgiving in my heart. And I will enter his courts with praise. And I will sing, this is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice, for he has made me glad. 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 I will rejoice, for he has made me glad. And he has made me glad. He has made me glad. I will rejoice, for he has made me glad. For you deserve the glory and the honor. Lord, we lift our hands in worship as we bless your holy name. You deserve the glory and the honor. Lord, we lift our hands in worship as we bless your holy name. For you are great, you do miracles so great, and there is no one else like you. There is no one else like you, for you are great, you do miracles so great, and there is no one else like you. There is no one else like you. Thank you, Jesus. Amen. Wow. That is awesome. Thank you.
Thank you
so
for taking
much.
us into the throne room.
Of worship. We really appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Wow. Whew. God is wonderful. And when
Yes.
God gives you talents, please use those gifts to do great things and exploits for Him. Thank you so much for about this. So,
Thank you very much. Thank
so
you.
what do you want to tell our viewers? What are some last-minute stuff, words of wisdom that you want to use of our viewers to impact?
I mean, at this end, I just want to tell people who are watching, especially people my age, you know, it's very difficult to say you want to seek the will of God. It's not going to be easy because, you know, that we are fighting this flesh, and it's very difficult. The flesh wants the things of the world. The flesh wants you to go out and party. The flesh wants you to do all these things. It has all these weaknesses. But you need to know that there is the reason why you're on earth. You understand? You came to this earth to worship the man upstairs, the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. So you need to sacrifice your life for him and have that time and spend that time with him and forget about the world. It's not going to be easy, but when you pray and ask God to help you, he will send his spirit to help you. He told the apostle to wait for the spirit. And when they waited, the spirit did not disappoint them. If you wait and pray, the spirit will not disappoint you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Thank you so much, Kwame. Amen. So I have an announcement that I want to make. So as we're talking about waiting upon the Lord, I'm really excited. We have a one-day youth camp, and the theme is Step Up to Possess. So this is the Washington region, the whole Washington region of Church of Pentecost. We're having this one-day youth camp, and it's going to be here at our building, and our address is 15421 Old Columbia Pike, Bartonsville, Maryland, and the zip code is 20866. Please come. It is one day. It is from 10 to 6, and the theme is Step Up to Possess. So what are you stepping up to? We're encouraging all our youth. Come. There's going to be food. There's going to be a lot of lessons from 10 to 6. Come and possess. We want to come. We want you to step up to possess. You have to step from the shadow. You have to step up from behind anything that you're hiding. Step up to possess. Amen. So that is our one-day youth camp. Everybody is invited. Please come. The youth, the young adult, the Pensa members, please come. We welcome everybody to come and possess. Okay?
Invite somebody. Bring somebody along.
Bring a friend, please.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thanks so much to Mr. Marfo for an awesome evening.
Yes.
Thank you for all that we've learned from you. May God continue to bless you and take you higher and higher and higher. Thanks also to our producer, Elder Richard Esrifi, and the technicians behind the scenes who make us look good on the set. God bless you very much. Thanks to our sponsors and supporters. I want to thank Ashon Collections, which is into the supply of electronics and consumer products. Contact number is 0243-548-925 and 0276-380091. Also, thanks to El Shaddai International Market, where you get all of your market goods. Anything you want, El Shaddai International Market is the place to go. Thanks to Delatech. Delatech is into liners training, job. They also help you to search for a job. They also help you to do mock job interviews. So if you're interested in IT, you want to contact Linus Training at Delatech. Also, thanks to El Shaddai International Market. Thanks to Lean On Foundation and Ministries. Over to you.
And I also want to invite you. We have the Ghanaian Nursing Association in the U.S., and so they're also going to have their meeting September 28th at the Laurel Library at 3 p.m. So if you are nurses, if you're in a healthcare profession, and you also want to join, please join. And of course, we want to thank our National Head Apostle, our Regional Head Apostle, Semna, and of course, our District Pastor, Pastor Evans Barton. I also want to thank all our viewers for watching us. Until next week, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on.